Welcome all of you for the fourth session of our AI powered data analytics and reporting pre-batch session actually. So the batch is going to start from next week, that is May 11th, 8:30 to 10:30. So I'll be sharing the syllabus after few topics. So the session for today is about data file types, data sources, and the data types. This is a very important topic because most of the people who wants to be a data analyst, data engineer, or data scientist, they lack a lot of basic fundamentals. Okay, so this particular topic will explain you about various different data file types, the data sources what we have, and also the different type of data types what we actually use. In this, I also have some exercises, and also I'll show you how Claude and ChatGPT will help us in understanding the data types, because most of us are confused about what data types have to use in the data. So we'll use the AI tools, ChatGPT and Claude, and see how we can actually study the data, understand the data types, and work on the projects. Okay. Right. So first of all, so this session is about data, file types, data source, and the data types actually. Okay. So here, let me just zoom this. I think I'm not able to zoom. Let me just see if I can zoom this. Yeah. So why this session is important? First of all, I have made a very good content here. And again, as I told you, the content has been done by using Claude and ChatGPT. Okay. So here, why this session is very important. I'll not bore you people. There are a lot of practical files as well. If you just see here, I've got a lot of data sources here, right from XML to JSON to CSV, Excel files, many things actually. Okay. So why this session is important? This session is important because before creating dashboards, reports, automations, or AI, artificial driven insights, we must first understand what type of data we are working, where the data is coming from, how the data is structured, which file format should we use, how to identify good versus bad data. So this is very important. We also have seen some topics, that is data cleaning and data preparation as well. So that will come under this. While data cleaning and data preparation, we should also know what kind of data we are actually working, what kind of data source we are actually getting the data. So all these things I'll be covering today in this topic. Most beginners directly jump into Power BI or dashboards without understanding function of the data. I always tell many people that don't do this. Why? Because if you are not understanding the data, then there is no point in going and working in dashboard or Power BI. Why? Because if the data is not clean, the data is not structured, if the data is not at all fit for creating the dashboards or reports what you're actually looking for, then after all the hard work, you will feel that I have wasted a lot of time. Okay, so you should be very careful about few things. Say, what is that? These sessions will actually help you people in data collection, data understanding, data handling, data organization, and data preparation as well. So this data preparation already we have done in one of the sessions, and we also many times I'll be keep telling about how to understand the data as well. Today we'll see some more topics based on this. First of all, this topic in every session I will take. Why? Because first thing what everyone has to understand is what is data. Okay, so what is data? Data is nothing but it's a information, or we can also call it as raw information collected from different systems, applications, websites, or users, or it can be with manual, written books or papers, anything like that. Example, say for example, student system. We have. I've given some examples here. Just go through this. One of some of the examples are just we say, suppose if it is hospital data, then we'll have patient name, disease, the bill amount. If you go to this HR department, it's very common, right? employee ID, salary, experience. And nowadays we have this lot of, we do a lot of e-commerce transactions. It can be Zepto, it can be Swiggy, it can be what is that? Amazon, Flipkart, anything. Say in that we have this orders, payments. Okay, lot of things actually we keep on processing. So everything is collected, and that is data. Okay, right. So now we'll see the different data types actually. Okay, so what are these different file data? Say file types. Say what happens when I want to work on some reports or dashboards. There should be some data, and that data is kept somewhere. Okay, so we call it as data source, from where actually we are getting the data. Okay, the data, different file types what we have. Let me just show you practically. Here we have JSON, XML, Excel, then CSV, then I have Access DB, then I also have say PDF, then we have website. There are various different ways where I can get the data. Apart from this, I can also get the data from Azure. I can get the data from Amazon. I can get the data from Google. Or let's come to the server, say MySQL, SQL Server, Oracle. There are various different sources from where we can get the data. Commonly, there are few things which I'll be discussing. Say Excel files, which we call it as .xlsx or .xls. Now this .xls is very rare, or you'll not see this at all. This .xls is 2003 version, very old version. There are some files which you still get in .xls. If at all you get, you can still convert that into .xlsx, which is the latest versions. This is actually the most commonly used data source or the file types, wherein we use in reports, MIS reports, business tracking, daily operations, or dashboards. Why we actually use this? Because it is easy to use, multiple sheets, supports formulas, charts and pivots, and also we can program in this. Let me open this Excel file, okay? I'm just opening this Excel file just to show you practically how it actually looks. Now this is my Excel file. I'm not teaching you Excel, but I'm showing you that how this Excel can be used for working on dashboards or reports. You can see here I have a lot of cells here where I can store the data. And here it was saying that multiple sheets. See, I can go here, I can click on this, multiple sheets I can create. How many sheets? You can create more than 200 you can easily create, and you can store the data as well, but there are some limits. How we'll store the data, that we'll think about that later. As of now, we'll just see about the different file types. Okay, so Excel. Then let me see what is the next one we have. Okay. Next one, what we have is CSV files. So what are CSV files? Let me tell you. CSV means it is comma separated values. They are actually something like, the notepad file, but they don't have their own application where, the CSV files can be opened. So it can be opened in another Excel file or in a notepad. Let me just show you one CSV file. So you can see that I have this simple CSV file. Okay, can I say this? We have this raw data CSV. Okay, .csv. This CSV file, keep in mind, is always stored as delimiters, that is comma separated. Now you just observe, I'll just drag it and I'll drop it in Excel file. See, I'll just drag it and I'll drop it here. Now I'm opening this in Excel file. Okay, this is CSV. Now the same thing, if I go here and say right click and say, where is that? Open with, and then if I say open with notepad, see, it is opened with notepad. The same file, now it is opened with notepad. So the CSV file doesn't have its own application. So it will take the support of any other application to get opened. Okay. All right. So this is about the CSV. Next one is text file. Text file actually stores the data in a very plain text. Why? Let me show you. I'll open my notepad. Okay. When I open the notepad, you can see that I have the notepad here. Say I can type, let's say I can type, but if I select this, I don't have any options to color it, any options to add any objects here, like chart. If you go to Excel, you can see that, I can say insert, I can insert some shape, I can insert some chart, some objects. I can select this, go here, see, I can color it like this. But if you go to this notepad, I cannot do anything as such. That is why all the, many of the companies or say organizations or some people who wants to store the data, we store it in notepad. But you'll be wondering, this notepad doesn't have any columns, any rows. Okay. Now just say I want to store some information about some student. See, say student ID. Okay. Now this is one column. I want to separate this into another column. I'll put one comma. Then I'll say student name, comma, student age. Okay. Student mobile. You can see that I'm actually having this comma separator here. This comma separator will help me in having this into different columns. Now let's say I want to add data for this. Student ID, I'll say STD001, comma. Student name, I'll just type something. Student age, see. Then student mobile number. See. Now you just observe, I'll copy this and I'll go to this Excel sheet. Now if I just paste it, see, it got pasted. Now how will I convert this into columns? I'll go to data and here I have this text to columns and say it is delimited. Next, I will take this comma separator and say finish. See, now this is in different columns. So this is how actually we store the data in this text, text file or say notepad. Okay, so these three are very common actually. Excel file, text file, and CSV file. They're very common across all the organization. Next time, whenever you are actually working, or say if you go for an interview, or even if you are working already in a company, if you get any opportunity to work on this, it's very simple. Okay, just try to understand this and go. You can work. You can import the data, start building the dashboards and columns. Okay, all right. JSON file. This JSON file, most of us actually will ignore or say we don't bother about it. But let me tell you, suppose if you people are working more on AI tools, if you're trying to import some data, the data actually is transferred with APIs. Okay. JSON, the full form is JavaScript Object Notation. This has got different way of storing the data. Let me show you. If you see here, I have one example. Okay, employee ID, and here you can see E101. The name Ravi, department sales. So what is this actually? If we give the data like this, let me show you how this actually looks. Okay, to make it more easier for you, what I've done is I've just taken one. Okay, here let's say sales data dot JSON. See, this is one record. This is one record. This is another record. Okay, so these are three different records here, three different records. If you want, you can keep on adding it. See, from here, see, this is the table name, and these are the records, and this is your heading, order ID. This is how actually the data is actually transferred. So here I've taken some simple example. I'll tell you how actually you can get it into Excel. Directly, you cannot get this into Excel. So here, where all this can be used, let's understand. Okay, where all this is used. So this is used, say, in APIs, most of the time in web apps, AI tools, automations, real-time systems, people, if you're actually working on AI systems, or even if you're actually connecting to some APIs and getting the data. So here, this format is very important now. Okay, keep this in mind. JSON means JavaScript, object notation, and one more thing is in Power BI also we have this JSON where we can actually have themes. Power BI themes are also stored in this format also. Okay, but I'll show you practically this file how actually we can import it. But first, what we'll do, we'll try to understand the file types. Okay, done. Next, XML files. Dot XML. So here we have this XML that's nothing but extensible markup language actually. This one is most commonly used in web pages. Okay, so why we use this in web pages? Because the format what you see, you can see that there are some tags. Okay, here we have this tags, say ID. This is one column name and this is the record name, Ravi. Okay, so likewise, we can store the data and we can use this in web pages. Let me show you how this actually stores. Say I have one example. You see, this is how actually the data is stored. Just take it on a notepad. Okay. Okay, this is very well. No problem. I'll just try to zoom this for the people. Let me see. Yeah, see, this is how it will be. So this is one column. So this is my table, and this is the column ID, and you can see the data as well. Okay, so XML is nothing but extensible markup language. Okay, right. Next, let me close this. Let me just open it. Sorry. People, sorry, I close the notepad and just open again. Just give me a minute. I'll just open. So we were in XML files. Here we have XML text file, JSON, and XML. Okay. The next one is PDF. So we all know that we have the PDF files where we scan sometimes. Okay. We also convert this into, from what to say, Excel file. So I'll go here. So I want this to be in PDF, say file, and say save as. And then here we'll go. And here you can see we have this PDF. We have PDF. Yeah, see here PDF. So what is PDF? PDF is nothing but portable document format. Okay. So this portable document format, usually we use this for printing purpose. Otherwise, we also can extract the data and we can start creating the report. See, used for reports, invoices, statements, and forms. Usually what do we do is we'll convert this. The quality of printing what we can take in PDFs is more than just like that, you can take as an image. So most of the times, even the photos or some documents, invoices and all will be converted into PDFs and we can take the prints because the quality is high. Another thing is the file size is compressed. When I have a huge data, so we can go here. See, I have one PDF here, which I'll be showing you. See, it is 196 KB only. But if you just open this, it's a huge file actually. Okay, let me just open this. Okay. So how many sheets are there? So 14 sheets are there. See. Okay. For that reason, we actually use this PDF. Okay. Most commonly, this I'll tell you, we use this for sending mails. It is very easy, or there are various different say invoices or even profiles also sometimes. Say resume also we actually try to send it through PDFs. The advantage is we cannot modify it unless and until we have PDF writers. Otherwise, the PDFs will be non-editable. Okay, right. These are some of the flat files actually. Flat files in the sense which can be available in our system itself. Okay. Right. Next, understanding data sources. After this, we'll work on some practical things and tell you how to understand the data types. Okay. Understanding data sources. First of all, what is data source? Let's understand. Data source is nothing but the location from where we get the data, say the location where the data is collected and stored. So we have various different data sources, say internal data sources. That is, we have this ERP systems. For example, I have some systems where I can store the data about my employees and things like that. Say CRM systems, HR, Excel report, sales dashboard, right? This is within the organization. Say external data sources, say APIs, or all these are will come under servers or say cloud. Next, we have the source. I've just given some examples here. Say source and examples. You can just go through that. Say Excel, we can have for sales reports, SQL database, APIs, cloud storage. We have this Azure and AWS, the websites, forms. So you know that Google Forms, sometimes I'll be keep sharing you people some forms to fill. So all these are also like where we collect the information and keep. Even Google Form, Google Sheet is also a kind of data source actually. Okay. All right. Next, understanding data types. As I told you, there is nothing, very big chapters here. Text data. Usually, keep in mind in this data field, we have three major data types. One is text, number, and date. These are the three major things. When I say text, it can be anything with the alphabets or alphanumeric. Say name, city, department, a product name, student name. So all these will come under this text. Coming to numeric. Numeric means we have various data types in this. So it can be integer, it can be byte, it can be long, it can be decimal. There are various different types. For example, you want to store the salary. So I can store the salary in numbers. Okay. Date data type. I told you. Say date means what? Say we have this a day, month, and year. See, I want joining date, order date, invoice date, billing date. So whenever we think that say even the date of birth, so all these are actually comes under data type that is date. Apart from this, we have this Boolean. Boolean means we have this true or false. Okay. Then some of the categorical data, say for example, I want to store specifically for some departments, or sometimes even the geographical data is also there where we can store the location. Okay. The latitude, longitude. So those kind of things are also available, right? Next, say real world understanding. Let's say, for example, I have the data source where I have the website and the gateway. Where the payment gateway, suppose if you go to my website, okay, let's say I'm selling some course. You are clicking on that, say purchase, or say, I want to purchase that. And you click on that, it will take you to the payment gateway. There we have a lot of the things which will work. Say we have this APIs where we get connected and then we can get the payment aspect like that. Okay. File types, we have CSV or SQL database. Okay. The next HR analytics. Here, let's say we can have Excel and SQL, where Excel can be your front end, SQL can be your back end. Okay. Next, coming to AI understanding. From now, what I'll do is I'll open my chat GPT. Okay. I'll open my chat GPT and then also I'll open my Claude. So whatever I told now, that was just an information for the people. Now what I'll do, I'll just go here and I'll just try to understand and take all the exercise, whatever is there, and see how actually we can understand the data. Okay, so here we are not creating any reports, we're just trying to understand the data. People, as I told you, this today's topic is nothing very big topic, but very, very necessary and important topic. So what I'll do, I'll go here. Let me take one very simple data here. So what we have to do here is, let's say I'll go to ChatGPT. You can take ChatGPT or Claude. Okay, anything you can take. Let me go here, and here I have given some prompts also, which you can actually use it. I'll be sharing this with you people in the say group. Okay, you can download that. AI prompt example, say prompt one, explain the columns in this data set and identify the data types. Let me copy this. Just one simple prompt for you. So for this, what I will do, I will go here. I will take one data set. Okay, any data set we'll take it from exercise only. Let's say, um, let me see what is there in this. Cleaning dirty data. We'll take some simple data only instead of taking, too big files. Okay. So I think this one we discussed in the previous session. So I'll take the same data here. Okay. Let me just drag and drop in ChatGPT. Okay. So I'm just dragging and dropping here. I want to know the data type. Let me just see. I'll go here and I'll say explain the columns in the data set. Identify the data types. That's all. I'll go here. I will paste this prompt. I'll say okay. When you say this, you know what happens when you try to read the data. Let's see what all things it will give. So here we have customer ID, customer name, email, phone number. Let's see. Okay. See here. Immediately it is giving me all the column names and the data types here. So it says customer ID, unique identifier for each customer. Say here we have 101, 105 or something. So if you go here, it says it can be integer or number. So it is giving me some example. Customer name of the customer, that is, it is text. Usually, technically, it's called a string. Then email, again, it is string. Phone number, it is string because sometimes they'll have some space or plus brackets or something. So they would have taken this as a string. And this is a very big number as well. Age, usually this will be number only. Region, again, it is string. Then again, revenue, we can take it as currency or decimal. Decimal and float are same. Currency means, suppose if you think I want to add that currency symbol, then I can use this currency. Join date, I told you it will be date format. Okay, right. You see here. So this prompt will also tell us to identify the data type, and it's also giving me an example that where all the problem is available. See, customer name, mixed cases, it's not good. Extra spaces are there. Email, invalid email IDs are there. Phone numbers, there are some problem with the formats. Okay. So likewise, your prompt, what it will do is it will give me the details of the column name as well as the data type. So people always make sure that first you'll understand the data type. Why? Because I'll tell you, say for example, say age, okay? So age should be whole number. What if someone would have given some text or something where this is actually not matching? So whenever you think that you're starting a project, first try to understand the data. Completely understand. Don't directly go and start creating the reports. This is very important. So likewise, what I've done is I actually asked just ChatGPT to give some simple prompt so that it will be easy for us to study the data. All right, here we have the next step, the next prompt. Say it is saying that suggest the best way to clean this data set. Let me just give this prompt. See, in Claude, we can directly go and mention the entire thing will be cleaned and even the reports also will be generated. So for us, we have to study now. See here, say to clean this data set effectively, follow the structured data cleaning workflow. Say remove extra space. Then it is saying standardize the text case. Then validate and clean emails, standardize phone numbers, clean age column, okay, standardize region values. You see here, it is giving me all the suggestions, so many things which we can actually go and correct. So you don't have to bother thinking that what should I do with this data? Just give the prompt. So I wanted to first make a list of all the column names and their data types. I'm just trying to understand whether they are matching. If the data, the column headers and the data type is matching, then yes, next we'll go and see how to clean the data. Okay. Suppose if you want to generate some insights. What are insights? Insights are nothing but suppose if you think I want to get some information which is very useful for the client or say people who are actually studying the data, this insights will be very useful. How? Let me just give an example. I'll see saying about sales data. I'll just take one sales data. We have given sales data. Okay, Superstore is a sales data. Okay, let me just go here. And what I'll do is I'll just drag and drop. Okay. Now let's assume that in 2025, a product has gained 1,000 rupees. Suppose in 2026, the same product has done sales of 1,200 rupees. Now the insights how it will give is it will say the product XYZ has done to say rupees 200 more than previous year, or it might show it in a percentage. So insights are nothing but the information what we get, what all useful or say some information which will be helpful for for the business. Just say I have the sales data. I will copy this particular prompt and say copy and I will paste it and send. Here what it will do, just try to give the insights out of this particular data. No problem. Because the data is huge, maybe because of that it's not showing. But for us, main thing is the insights. Okay. Apart from this, what else is there? Which columns are categorical and which are numerical? So we'll do this as well. So it's a huge data actually. Become a smaller data, but anyways, let's check. See, it is giving me the insights. Say total sales is this much, total orders is this much. Say year wise, I was telling you, right? So year wise, it's trying to check this. Okay. The insight, it says business shows strong growth from 2017 onwards. 2018 recorded the highest sales. So these are all some information which will help us in understanding how the sales or business are happening. Okay. All right. We can see here, see, there are so many insights which we can actually take it. We can use this for our presentation, or it can be for, say we can create the reports and take this insights and we can show it in the dashboards itself. Okay, so likewise, we can see that there are so many insights which it is actually giving, which will really be helpful. People, let me tell you, when we were actually creating dashboards, say, way long back, we had to go sit, understand all the reports, and then we had to prepare all these insights. Now you don't have to bother everything. AI will actually take care. Okay. All right. Next. So next we had categorize this. So which column is categorical and numerical? Let me just run this. Why? Because I want to know how many are actually numbers in this. See, if you see here, sales, quantity, discount, profit, and postal code, they're all numerical. Okay. Categorical, you can see order ID. So usually categorical means it will be text. Okay. Most of the times it will be text. Okay. So which are date columns, order date and ship date. Okay. So likewise, we can have the data types categorized as well. So you can go and we can use this prompt. Okay. So that you can understand the data. You can see that what all things I can do for cleaning the data. Okay. And also main thing is the insight. So this one, for understanding how the data is actually organized, so we can use this prompt. So which columns are categorical and numerical? So you can just mention this. It will give me that kind of data. So here I've given some examples. You can just copy that and create your own Excel file and try to create it. Okay. All right. Okay. So all this you can work on, and also the files are there here. You can work on this. Okay. All right. So here specifically, why I'm taking again this JSON XML is, as I told you, for this particular thing, okay, in AI, this is very, very important. Very important. That's why I just taken this as a separate chapter itself for the people so that you can understand this. And also, I'll show you how this data can be JSON file, an XML file can be taken into Excel as well, and like a column or row. I'll show you that. Okay. Right. So if you go here, as I told you, JSON means what? JavaScript Object Notation. Okay, it's a lightweight data used to store and exchange data between applications, APIs, and websites, and also through the system. So why JSON is important? Because it is lightweight. As you saw that it is very, say, what is that? In the notepad, what we have typed, right? So it's not like Excel file or something, which we store that in a very simple notepad file. So it is very fast, easy to read, API friendly, supported by AI tools, and it is supported by Python, Excel, and even cloud platform as well. I'll show you how actually we can use this in Excel. Okay, right. So let me also understand about the XML file, and then I'll show you how to import this. XML, as I told you, it is extensible markup language. It is actually a structured data format used for storing and transferring data between systems. And mostly this will be used in your websites, okay, for websites and all. You can see that we have some tags here. And here I have the comparison between JSON and XML. So JSON is actually used mostly in AIs. Okay. So this is like very old style. So not much used now. So it is lightweight, heavy structure, and you can see it is very faster. This is little slower. Modern applications, legacy enterprise systems, API friendly enterprise interaction. So this APIs are very important now because all the apps, all the AI tools, all the AI applications work on JSON. Okay. All right. So let me go here, and then now we'll understand about API. Okay. Before going to this API, we'll go here. We'll try to understand how this data from XML and from the JSON file can be taken into Excel, because we all know on how to get the data from Excel, from SQL or something, which I always discuss in the session. But we'll see how this JSON and XML files are actually imported. Okay, so let me close all these files. I'm just closing all the files. This also I'll close. It's not Excel file, it's a CSV file. Okay, Control N. Now I want to import the data which is there in JSON. Okay, go to data, and here I'll say get data, and from file, can you see this JSON? I'll click on this. When I click on this, it will ask for the path. Let's go and see. Take this path where I kept this. Right now, just observe, I have this JSON file here. Say I have one, and here I have one. Let me take this sales data. I will say import. When I say import, it's trying to import. When I say import, it is taking me to this Power Query editor because we need to modify few things, transform few things. See, it is saying orders, and we have this list, the table name orders. Okay. So what say the table name is sales data. So here you can see this orders. So what I'll do, I'll say convert this into table. See, it got converted now into table. Now what we'll do, we'll go here, and here, if you see the list, there are three records. You can see here the records are there. It's saying three records. I'll click on this small button here. When I click on this, it will ask for whether I should expand this as a row or a values. Because I have the records, I'll say new rows. You can see that it says record, record, record. So again, I'll go and click on the small button, and here you can see I'll get all the column names and say, okay, see the data which was there as a some coded this thing. So we just try to take the data here. Now I'll say close and load. You know what happens? Now the entire data, whatever was there, that will come and sit here in Excel. So this is how actually we can get the JSON file into Excel file. Okay, this is one thing. Let's say how to take the data from XML. Let's go here again, data, and I'll say XML. Let me take employee data and say import. A lot of tags will be there. So it is time to read the data. See here and say employee. You can see that directly it will get converted like a table. Now I can either say load, or if you think I want to modify, I can go to transform. Let's say load. See, it got loaded. Now you saw this. So if you go here, XML file, I'll show you how it is. We saw this, right? So if you go here, XML is something like we have the tags here like this. If you go here and check, see here, which is this. I think this is different file. Let me just take the same file. Employee. Wait, okay. Let me zoom this. Let's go here and check. See, E101 Ravi sales 45,000. See, E101 Ravi sales 45,000. And again, E102 Veena HR 52,000. See, so likewise, we can actually try to have the XML or JSON files. Next time, whenever you get these files, if you want to import this to your Excel or even Power BI, you can just go to this data and say get data. You can import it. Okay, so these are some of the main files what we actually have, right? Okay, so people, tell me till now, did you learn something? I told you this today's chapter is little less topic only, but still till now, whatever I did you people understood something? Was it useful? Quickly, don't take much time. Let's say we'll take some 30 seconds. Okay. Thank you so much, Jagdish, Sapna, Ashok. Okay. Right. No problem. So let me go to the next topic, that is APIs. Okay. People, let me tell you, most of the applications now, okay, is all about APIs. Now you cannot ignore this APIs. Why? I'll tell you. APIs, the AI tools, whatever is there, directly we cannot connect and start working. If you go to this Chat GPT or Claude, we have to go connect with the various different, go to the settings and see. See this connectors. Okay, here we have so many connectors actually. So all these are connected by APIs if you want to get the information. There are many ways where we actually go, we can connect. Okay. So if you want to connect anything, see, connect, then we need to have a proper API. Some are actually free and some are actually paid. For example, suppose you want to connect to one app and get the information. So they will give you some code, which is nothing but the API codes, which is chargeable if at all they think that the content or it's a paid version. Okay, so you should be very careful about it. If you think you want to connect, then you have to collect your API codes and then connect it. Okay. So this API is very, very useful, very important now. Okay. So I'll explain this in detail. Before that, the purpose of this pre-batch, you all know that, we are starting a new batch and people who are very much new or say they are attending the first batch or the people who are still attending, all the batches here. As I told you, this course is starting from May 11th. Okay, as I told you, and I have one more session on this Friday. So after that, we don't have any free classes. We'll be directly going to this paid classes. Okay, and because of you people wanted some classes to know that how actually we teach or how actually the classes will happen. So for that reason, I took 5 different classes, and this complete what the course whatever is there is based on the chat gpt claude and copilot. Okay, though it's a data analytics and reporting, more of the contents will be on, let me show you. So it will be on chat gpt, it will be on claude, it will be on microsoft copilot, and also prompt engineering. So first we have to learn these things, and after that we'll be learning about excel, Power BI, and SQL Server in depth by using Claude. So there is no traditional way of learning. Directly, we'll be using all the Claude and ChatGPT. Okay, that's why it is very faster actually. We can finish all the entire thing in 30 to 45 days. Okay, so the main focus is on the AI tools. Okay. So if you learn all these AI tools, if you are planning to jump to data science, data engineering, data analytics, or even if you are jumping to programming language as well, you can still manage with these 3 different AI tools. Otherwise, there are still more other AI tools which you can learn by your own if you're actually learning about this prompt engineering. Okay. So we also have projects. Since it is actually AI, so we can work on n number of projects very easily. Just now I showed you one simple prompt. It would give me all the details. So previously we had to go sit, understand the data type, the insights and everything. It was taking at least 3 to 4 days just to understand. But now within few minutes we can understand, we can start working on the problem. So that's why we can work on more and more projects, even if you're not there from that particular background domain. I will tell you how to actually, build the projects, portfolio building, resume updating. Okay, so all these things will be there in this particular batch. Okay. Also, I'll help you in getting some virtual internship certificates, wherein there are some big companies which they give the internship certifications. For that, I will guide you how to actually get them. There are some IBM certifications like Python, data science, and all from IBM itself. So I'll just try to help you people in getting that certification as well. Anyways, Claude, we are always doing that. So if anybody has not done your cloud certification, I can help you clearing that aspect. Okay. So this is starting from May 11th and it is 25,000 plus GST. I have got some message saying that, in our cloud workshop, this session, okay, cloud workshop, this fees was 10,000 rupees. People, let me tell you, whoever is actually listening, that day was the first announcement. So I gave that as an offer. Okay. So after that, in the batch itself, in the video, I've already put that video. Please check the video. I very clearly mentioned that this is because of the first announcement. I gave it as 10,000 rupees, and after that, I'll not give. It will be 25,000, which I told, and after that, it became 25,000 rupees. Okay. And now I cannot reduce this price for the reason I'll tell you. All the classes, what we're doing is based on the premium version of the Claude and ChatGPT. Okay, so I cannot reduce the price now. So it will be 25,000 plus GST. And if you want, you can go and check in net. Just only for Claude, they're charging 1.8 lakhs only for teaching you Claude, that to 14 days. Okay, I'm not telling you, just go and do the research. Okay, after that, only think about joining. Even if you're not joining, I have no issues. Attend the free classes, fine. But what I'm telling is, please go and do R&D. Already 4 classes are over. Okay, if anybody is still thinking of joining, it is 25,000 plus GST. If you're joining before 9th, I'll also be giving you Python, Tableau, LinkedIn, and resume preparation with the Claude certification guide with all the files which are actually chargeable. That will be completely free. If you think that you want to attend the sessions and don't have 25,000 rupees to pay at one shot, 15,000 plus 10,000 is what 2 installments you can pay, but will not have the bonus. Okay. ITAS alumni, if you've already taken data analytics and reporting, please, you can pay 15,000 rupees. There is no installment. You can upgrade yourself. So just 15,000 rupees only for ITAS alumni who have taken data analytics and reporting. Okay, because you have paid a hefty amount, I know, almost some 50 to 60,000 rupees you would have already paid. So again, I don't want to charge you people. So 15,000 is what you can pay and upgrade. But again, people, as told, after 9th, I will not reduce the price because this particular course is charged 45,000 rupees. This is the fixed price what we have. Okay. But this is because you people are attending some classes for the pre-batch. I'm just giving you as a discount. That's all. So after that, even if you want, I cannot give, it will be 45,000. So up to 9th, you have time, you can still think. Okay. So the worth of 30,000 rupees bonus you'll be getting. You'll also be getting Python, Tableau, LinkedIn, resume, Claude certification preparation. That is only if you're paying one installment with the GST. Okay. After 9th, it will be 45,000 rupees. Again, don't say that, I'm disappointed. I wanted to pay you this much. I cannot reduce. In the first class, say in the Claude workshop, I told it will be 10,000 rupees only on that day. If you want, you can go and check that video. And please don't blame saying that that day you told 10,000, now you made it 25,000. Again, I'm telling you after 9th May, I will again not reduce. It will be 45,000 only plus GST. Okay. Right. So if you want to pay or if you think you want to register, please you can take a screenshot of this. I'll just give you 30 seconds. Just take a screenshot. And still, if you think you are making your mind, you can take a screenshot and pay and send the screenshot to me for this number. Or you can still, if you want to have one-on-one, you can just call this number. Okay, so you can speak to me, and then later on, if you still have ideas to join, you can join. Otherwise, please drop the plan. No worries, no force. But after 9th, if anybody is coming and saying, sir, I wanted to join, I missed it, please, I cannot reduce. Okay. Right, people. So this is what I have for this next week batch. So let me go back to the topic. Okay. Right. What is API? We'll understand. Okay. First of all, the name says application programming interface. What is application programming interface? Let me just tell you. This actually helps one software or application communicate with another software or application. For example, let's say I have this Excel. Okay. I want to communicate with Claude, right? So what I'll do, I'll go here and try to connect with this. How it is getting connected? Just like that, if you install, it will not get connected. So we need to have some code which will match. It is something like, I want to log in. I have the username and password. That is just an example I'm giving. So similarly, here what happens? We have various different connections. For that, this APIs helps us in getting connected and then get the data. Okay, let's take an example. So we are ordering food, from Swiggy or Zomato or something, right? Now just think about like this. The food is getting prepared in the kitchen. You've ordered our food. Who is actually getting connected with the kitchen, and getting us the food? Say it is the waiter. So from kitchen, okay, that is the food, that is the data. So from kitchen, for us, who is actually giving the food is this person waiter. Similarly, from the database, if I want the data, then this APIs will actually help us in getting the data. So API itself is not data. So API helps us in retrieving and transferring the data. Okay. Most of the times now, okay, the APIs are actually used, the APIs use these JSON files. See, the most API sends data in JSON, very less actually now XML because it is very slow. People, let me tell you, XML is little slow compared to JSON. Okay, so here you can see we can connect with the various different applications, get the data. Say, for example, I have this Google Maps, I want the location data. Weather apps, say weather data. Say banking apps, transaction data. Power BI, say we have this live dashboard refresher. ChatGPT, AI responses, e-commerce, product and order data. So all the connectivity where we give and get the data, it's called as APIs. Okay, usually let's say a website and we have this payment gateways, so we need to connect each other. Just like that, we cannot connect each other. There should be some authorized codes, that is called as APIs. Say data, get data from web. For example, if I go here, see, I'll say data, get data, and here I have this web. Let's say I'm going here from other source, see, from web. Now I need to give a proper authorized website, then only it will get connected, right? So like this, say the URL you have to paste. So Excel imports JSON or XML automatically. Say for example, now if you go here, I just paste some website address. Okay, I had one website, but it's giving some authorization problem. So let's not do that. So if you see, like they say in Power BI again, in Power BI also we have this get data and say web, and I'm taking this, pasting that URL. So there we can use this. In Python, we can directly go and we can connect the APIs as well. Okay. So why APIs are very important, especially for AI and analytics. APIs helps actually in live dashboards, say automations, real-time reporting, AI integration, cloud application, data synchronization. In a simple words, AI is nothing but it is just a code, or we can call it as something like a bridge between two applications. I want to connect. Let me just show you one example. Okay, this is not API, but I'm just telling you how it actually works. Say Alt F11. Just observe this. Okay, this is VBA, Visual Basic Application. Okay, this is an editor. I'll go to this. Say for example, now I want to work on PowerPoint. Now this is actually Excel. I want to write codes for PowerPoint. So directly I cannot use this PowerPoint. Okay. So let me just show you, say model. This just simply I'm telling, say some, say test. Okay. APT as, see, PowerPoint. No, it's not. Let me show you something. I'll go to this tools and I'll say reference. Now what I'll do, I'll go here and I'll say, so let me just check. Okay. See, I have this reference, the library. I'll say okay. Right? Now we just observe over here. See, PowerPoint dot. See, let's say PowerPoint dot slide. See, because I connected here, I'm getting all these, functionalities or anything. This is called as, now this way it is called as API. This is not API. I'm just telling you how the APIs are connected. So you can go to any of the application, connect to any of the other application by using this APIs. Okay. Now this is very important for us. The JSON, XML. and APIs. Apart from this, if you want to get the data, Excel, text file, and the notepad, that is text file, and the CSV files are very important. On a bigger way, the servers, SQL servers, and these things are very important. Okay, so these are some of the you know it's a very commonly used data types actually, and data sources. The file, or say you can call it as the file types actually. If you want this book, okay, I'll give you one link. Just fill that link and then send it to me so that I can send this particular file to you. Okay, so this is the feedback form. Just fill this quickly, not now, anytime whenever you are free. Just fill this. I will give you this book. Okay, you can this book. Sorry, not this book. I'm very sorry. This book. Okay, just fill this form which I have sent, and then you can get this book. I'll send it through mail. Okay, all right. Right, people. So thank you so much. And I have one more session on Friday. Okay, so what is that? So we have, what is that we have? I don't know. Okay, let me see. So we have dashboard designing. This is completely on designing part. How actually we can use design using Canva, using ChatGPT, using Claude. So how we can actually design the dashboard. So last week on Sunday, we actually did some dashboards. Okay, there I was just showing you some designs. Friday, we'll actually see more designs like that. And also get you some, very nice designs. How actually we can replicate those designs for our dashboard. So all these things I'll be discussing. Okay. So before we leave, so let me know how was the session, and then we can close the session. Just 30 seconds. Just let me know. I will close the session, but tell me how was this session? I told you at the beginning only that this is a very small topic actually. So quick feedback from you. Okay. Thank you, Suraj. Sure, Friday, next class. Thank you so much, Manju. Right. So thank you so much, people. Thank you so much, Sendil. Okay. So next class will be more interesting because more of designing will be there. Okay. So I'll see you guys on Friday, 8:30. Completely designing part, which will be more and more interesting. Thank you so much, Siddiq. Right. Ramya, thank you. Okay. Right, people. So thank you so much. I will catch you guys on Friday with our final session of this pre-batch classes. Okay. So after that, okay. I told you recordings will not be given. All of you, I have told you in the beginning itself, recordings will not be given for this because this is something which we're actually doing it for, the paid courses for next week. So any of the community classes, yes, I can really share, but not this one. Okay. Right. So if at all we are doing any community classes again, so you can attend there. I will share the recordings. Right, people. So thank you so much. Good night. See you guys on Friday. Bye bye.